as I'm filming this, it is a cool 27 degrees outside. But it's a nice toasty 70 degrees here in the house, so got some time to do some cleanup around the den here, around my workbench and things. And I found a blast from the past box on one of my storage shelves I actually forgot about, and going through it, and it was a lot of stuff from my childhood. It's kind of interesting to see some of the things, baseball cards and toys and knickknacks and that sort of thing. Came across this right here. If you know what this is, if you ever use one of these, let me know in the comments below. Let's see who knows what this is. Anyways, speaking of a blast from the past, while going through some boxes and things, I found these two envelopes that were somehow mistakenly lost or misplaced, but they are from January of 2023, so they're a year old. We're going to open them up today along with these other 4 pieces of mail, so it's going to be a blast from the past in this Mailbag Monday. So before I open up this first envelope, here's another blast from the past, going back in that little box I had. Tiger Electronic Baseball. How many of y'all remember this? If you were born in the 80s, you probably had this, or the football game, or maybe even a hockey game if I'm not mistaken. Now, it doesn't have batteries in it, but I might put some batteries in it later on, and it might actually work. Thought that was just cool just to see this blast from the past as my childhood. But anyways, let's get started with the envelopes here. I have a newer knife I'm going to use. I'm not going to use it on this one. I'm just going to tear this one open this way. I'm kind of glad I didn't use that knife, because it looks like whatever's in here is pretty close to the edge of the envelope. Anyways, this is one of the ones from 2023. Comes to me from Portland, Oregon. And what did I get? Huh. I almost bought this postcard the other day. I saw one on eBay. The Round Towner Motor Inn. Looking at the cars, this is looks like 60s, 70s. Now, where is the Round Towner Inn at, or was at? West Beach Boulevard in Biloxi, Mississippi. Midway between Gulfport and Biloxi. Kind of interesting. I actually saw, I guess somebody else locally has this postcard, or found a picture of this postcard online, and they posted on one of the history gone but not forgotten type Facebook groups of the area. And yeah, then I was looking at it, found one on eBay, and was fixing to buy it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I have it already. Just interesting. There is not an address, so it's hard to tell. I don't recall what this is or what this was. I want to say this was, or I guess you could say was, a Ramada Inn recently, if I'm not mistaken. If it was still here, Katrina took it out. So a lot of the hotels that were out there on the beach, Highway 90, got destroyed during Hurricane Katrina. So there is a really, really good chance that this is not here anymore, and just one of those pieces of local history. So this is the next envelope from January 2023. Comes to me from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm not going to use my knife on that one either, which I probably could have. Alright, got a couple of them in here. Let's see what we got. This is the Peabody Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. We stayed there, not this past Christmas, but we stayed there the Christmas of 2022, the week of Christmas, when the big snow came through and cold weather, and it got down to like 4 degrees and negative wind chill, and that was the first time my daughter ever seen and played in snow, so that was a really cool trip. This is the, if if you're not familiar with it, this is the hotel where the ducks come out and they swim around the fountain in the lobby all day. Now they have a little house that's up here on the roof, and they're very, very well taken care of. And every morning they have a little parade where they roll out the red carpet and the ducks come down the elevator and they waddle into the fountain and swim around the fountain all day, and people look at them and they eat and have a really good life. Looking at this, I'm going to say this is probably from the 40s, 30s, 40s, sometimes like that. Those cars look like they're from the 30s or 40s. There's no no date on it anywhere. It's not postmarked. It doesn't have a particular price for the stamp. So let's just say 30s or 40s on that one. I thought that was a pretty cool look at the hotel. We were right in this area here. There is a little cafe. And I remember we were sitting there waiting for a hot cocoa and stuff. My daughter was looking out the window, looking at the snow coming down. And that was right after she was out there playing in it. And it was, that's one of those things that I'll never forget. And speaking of the Peabody, the next postcard is a look at the interior. This is the main lobby of the Peabody Hotel. Now, that is the fountain that the ducks swim around in. And I don't know if those are ducks in there or not. Anyways, like I said, this is the main lobby. I'm trying to find out which way is which. Okay, so the ducks actually come out this way. There's elevators over here, and they roll up the little red carpet, and they got some stairs, and they go there and swim around. During when we were there, right here in this area, was the giant Christmas tree that was 2 stories tall and very extravagant. The main check-in, check-out desk is here, and there's a little bar over here. There's a couple little shops and restaurants throughout this area. Right over here is that little cafe, I guess you say, that I mentioned in this postcard. That's kind of in this area here, so you can kind of see how everything's laid out. That cafe is where my daughter was looking out the window, enjoying the snow. So I got these either right after we got back from the vacation there, or I've got them right before. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, these are from January 2023, so it had to have been right after, as we were there the week of Christmas of December 2022. So just a cool piece of history that that we enjoyed present day. Now this next envelope looks like it says January 2023, but I only remember finding 2 misplaced envelopes. Maybe it was 3. Maybe this one was sitting off the side somewhere. I don't know. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it and see what is in here. I'm trying not to change that blade out too. Yeah, starting the year off right. Okay, hit up a bit. It wants to be difficult. I have ways of dealing with difficult things. Just do it like that. Okay. Whatever's in here, they packaged quite well. 2 more postcards. Okay. This is Skyway Hotel, Peabody, Memphis, Tennessee. So this is a, I guess this is the restaurant, or was a restaurant that was there. I don't recall a restaurant that looked like this when I was there. We didn't go into all the restaurants. There was a couple of them that were a little, let's just say a little too hotsy-totsy for us. We were trying to have a little low-key Christmas and budget restrictions, let's say. But it could still be there. I'm sure it probably doesn't look like this anymore, but I'm not sure. Okay. This says it's atop the Hotel Peabody. Maybe that's why we didn't see it. We didn't go to the top floor. And I don't recall seeing any advertisements for a restaurant up there at the top floor. But like I said, it may still be there. And this next one is another view of the lobby. Kind of an older looking view than we previously looked at. Now here's the other card. can kind of see they're pretty similar. Let's see if there's a, there is no date on it. So I'm not sure time frame wise now. Neither of these have dates on them. But if you look, they're pretty similar. Pretty similar there. But anyways, you can see the difference in the furniture here and there. But not a whole lot has changed, except for maybe the flower bouquet arrangement that's in there. But anyways, just another different view of the Peabody Hotel's lobby. Like I said, that was a pretty cool little Christmas trip we did. So if you ever get a chance to go up there, it doesn't have to necessarily be Christmas, but let me tell you, it's not Disney World magical, but it's a nice, you can say fancy. I enjoyed it. Quite expensive, let's just say, per night, but the memories are worth it. And this is probably the last card that I bought in 2023, as it is dated December 30th, 2023. Let's get right into it and see what the last card that I purchased in 2023 is. Okay, it's kind of cool. I didn't buy this. This is something they sent in. The company did, that I bought it from off eBay. Now, this is what was the LaFont Inn in Pascagoula, Mississippi, my hometown. I want to say my last Mailbag Monday or the one before that, I bought one very similar to this card, maybe even this card. I don't know. Aerial view of the 6-acre resort setting. Now, I know I did have a picture of the, there's a fountain. There was a fountain out here somewhere. I know I got a postcard of that and actually saw, went to a house where they bought that fountain from auction. Anyways, this is no longer there. Now there is a Hilton Hotel right here on a corner. There's a Hardee's, or what some people call Carl's Jr. here. There's a little roundabout. Driveway kind of goes around. There is a sandwich shop, and they're talking about putting something in the back. I forgot what they're talking about. Anyways, like I said, this is no longer there. This was a predominantly nice hotel, locally owned by Mr. LaFont himself. And if I'm not mistaken, his house was back in here somewhere, where he actually stayed on the property. Now, I forgot when this closed. I saw it here a while back. If I can find when this closed, I'll put it here at the bottom of the screen. Very popular. There were some hotels, newer hotels that were opening up closer to the interstate. It was kind of started drawing away some of the patrons of the hotel, and they did what they could do to try to keep the guests coming in and change some things up and trying different new things, ideas. And there's a restaurant in there, and I actually went there for a party. Graduation party in the big restaurant meeting room type thing. Was kind of fun. Anyways, like I said, it's not longer there. Just one of those blasts from the past of local history that I had to get a hold of. And the next one comes to us from Bella Vista, Arkansas. Never heard of Bella Vista, Arkansas. Okay. Yeah. Lisa says, thanks. Alright, what this is, and I'm going to get it opened up here. This is, come on. There we go. This is the Scenic Incline in Royal Gorge, Colorado. Now, this is no longer there. There was a fire some time ago, within the last 20 years, if I'm not mistaken, where parts of the building at the top burnt down or got severely damaged to a point where it was not feasible for them to financially fix it, I guess you'd say. So it is no longer there. I have never been on this, but my dad did quite a few years ago when he went up there, probably 30, 40, 30, about 30 years ago. He went up there for his employer where he worked at. He had to go up there for some classes or training or some inspection, something like that. I forgot what it was. I was 10 or 11 years old back then. Anyways, I remember him telling us about he actually rode this all the way down to the bottom of the Royal Gorge there in Colorado. So it was kind of interesting to get a hold of. It wasn't too expensive postcard, and it kind of goes along with my whole, I guess you say, fascination of incline railways and things like that. So it'll go along with the some of the historical transportation postcards that I have. And the last postcard envelope today comes from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. That's quite interesting because I was in Muscle Shoals in October when I was coming back from my Natchez Trace trip, which ended in Nashville. But instead of making the run home from Nashville, which is about 7-8 hours, I stopped there in Muscle Shoals, Tuscumbia area, stayed the night, and did some things around that town or those towns. And kind of interesting little part of Alabama. If you're ever up that way, give it a try and go stop by. It's kind of away from everything, but there's some pretty interesting things to see out that way. Now, this is the Fairyland Caverns in Rock City in Lookout Mountain, Georgia, which is, a lot of people think it's Lookout Mountain, Chattanooga, Tennessee area. It's actually, Rock City is actually in Georgia. You cross over the Tennessee-Georgia line getting there from Chattanooga. Anyways, now we were up there for Christmas recently, and we did the day tour with my family, and we did a night tour with the Christmas lights. It was amazing. I have a video of it. If I can remember, I'll put a link up here for that video of the Christmas lights. But anyways, what intrigued me about this particular postcard, now I've been to Rock City 3, maybe 4 times. I've never seen a desk when you walk into the caverns like that. Now there is rocks and things like that, and crystals and things like that right when you walk in, but I've never seen pictures or even a postcard until now of a desk right when you got into the caverns, which is kind of interesting. It kind of intrigued me. What was that desk for? It looks like the gentleman is maybe showing them stuff, telling them the history of the exhibits in there. Was he selling them things? I don't know. That's why I got this postcard. It was just interesting to me that I've never seen this scene, so I had to get it. Now, it wasn't a whole lot of money, so we just went with it and got it. Entrance to Fairyland Caverns, beautiful Rock City, top Lookout Mountain near Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now, as far as a date, this is just looking at, I'm going to guess the 60s. Those look like 60s clothes, maybe 70s. I'm not exactly sure. Kind of interesting. I wonder if I could get a hold of somebody at Rock City, and maybe they could give me some context of, you know, what's going on here during this scene. I don't know. I'm going to see what I can do, and if I find out, I'll post a follow-up video or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, yeah, just one of those cool old-school pictures of Fairyland Caverns that I'd never seen before, and I had to get it for the collection. So that concludes this week's Mailbag Monday Blast from the Past. Kind of centered around hotels. The Peabody Hotels, the Round Towner Inn Motel, the LaFont Inn, and then there's a couple little tourist attractions. It's kind of interesting that 2 of these are not here anymore, while one is thriving, actually. So kind of interesting how history works its way out with things, with society, and how Mother Nature treats things, people passing on, how things change and go from hand to hand, and what happens with things afterwards. That's kind of why I started collecting postcards, because of things like this. Even though I don't remember it, it still intrigues me how things were back in then. I remember this one, so it is a reminiscent of the past, And there's not a whole lot of pictures and things online with some of this stuff. You gotta remember a lot of this stuff is pre cell phone cameras and things like that, where whenever you saw it, you better get a good memory of it because you won't see it again. Whereas today, everybody's got a camera in their pocket, so it's easy to document. That's why I do my YouTube videos mainly, to document our adventures and vacations and things like that, because I may not be able to get back to these places ever again, but I can always go back on YouTube. As long as the cloud and the internet goes on and things like that, I can always go back to those resources and look at our trips and look at our vacations and explorations and things like that. It's the way people did back in the day when they had the 9mm cameras, and they had the reels of their film or vacations and things like that, and you pulled out the projector and the screen and you went back and looked at it. Well, today we just go back and look at it on a camera or on our cell phone or smart TV or Alexa device or whatever. This is things that you can't do that on. That's why I got these as a physical copy of just pieces of the past and history that I remember or wish I did remember, things like that. But anyways, if you've ever been to the Peabody Memphis Hotel, or you've ridden the Incline Railway, the Royal Gorge Hotel, if you remember what this guy was doing at Fairland Caverns in Rock City, please let me know in the comments below. I'm really interested, to know what he was doing. I don't know. Like I said, if you know anything about this stuff, let me know in the comments below. And like always, I appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you next time.